Hey, what up everybody? Cody coming at you with another video for KO cards. It's been a little hit and miss, life is busy, but we're going to Nats, and that's what this video is about. What to do when you gotta go to Nats for Digimon. First off, you should pack accordingly. Like, I think I'm flying Delta, so you get a carry-on and a personal item. So for my personal item, I have this bag. This is just it's an OG laptop bag, but it's big enough for my cards and my mat and all the good stuff that I need. And then a personal item can be like a backpack or whatever, and then there's dimensions. But you know, stay within the dimensions, you won't have a problem. I personally don't like checking a whole lot of bags because they can lose them. Just personal experience. But yeah, what you need, you're gonna need a deck box, good stuff, some sleeves, some deodorant. Deodorant is important. Some aluminum-free deodorant maybe. And then I'm bringing this. It's an Ultimate Guard archive. That's what they are. It's a pretty decent sized box. Got a whole bunch of deck boxes in there of some nice meta decks in case you want to switch up or one of your homies needs a deck. A little bit more than you probably need, but that's what I'm bringing. TSA is going to want to check your stuff because cards move around and it looks weird, I guess, on their machine. So go to the airport a little early. Bring your extra phone charger just in case. And then one extra thing that I'm bringing is one of these. It's a trading card game deck logbook. My wife actually created this, and if you're persistent and you take notes, I believe taking notes is one of the best tools that you can do in a methodical game like Digimon. So if you want, if anyone's interested in these, just PM me and we'll figure something out, or I can link a purchase link in the description below. Any sports appreciated. I think they're pretty cool. Let's see. Going to nationals, you should have a goal, right? If you want a top 16, put in a lot of work. If you want a top 32, know how to beat Blackwargreymon and know how to catch yourself if you have tunnel vision. If you want a top 128, play Blackwargreymon. But no, the prizing is pretty wild. I don't think it's horrible. I think they could have selected different cards, but if prizing is important to you, you should look into the prizing. If it's not worth the trip, then I guess it's not worth the trip for you. My personal belief is this is nationals, and if you earn your invite and you can get there without it negatively affecting your life as much as, like, if it's an okay amount, if it has an okay amount of impact on your life, you should go. It's calling all the Tamers. Like, you earn your invite, we're Tamers. Our community is really cool. We have people sticking up for people always offering help, people giving away free cards, and it's a good community. If you want to hate because you can't pay for your entire trip, or even a good portion of your trip if you don't top 16 probably, then you know you're more of an entrepreneur than a tamer. You probably shouldn't call yourself a tamer. I'm working hard to get there, but Bandai's doing what Bandai's doing, and I think they're doing an alright job. Prepping for nationals is super important. Try to make sure you're eating healthier, know your matchups, know your deck, take the time to pick your tech cards wisely. Reaching out to groups. I don't know if any of these guys want me to use their real name, so I won't, but there's a very friendly group in the Twin Cities area that I work with. I strongly recommend checking out Opa's Games on YouTube. They're good people. Reaching out to content creators, joining these online events. Gaia Force Gaming is holding events every week. Mario's Gaming World holds events. Get in those. I've gotten in a couple and I've done okay in the last little bit. I think I got 2nd in Gaia Force Gaming's this week, and I got 7th in a 40-man event for Mario's. And I mean, it's alright, you know, but you gotta get in there, you gotta put in the work if you want to do well. Reaching out is a great way to do it. I think one more thing that I do want to try to cover is a channel update. I want to try to put more videos out, but I was juggling a couple extra games. I was hitting Pokemon pretty hard. We had to play Lugia, you know it. But now that we know that it is BT11, I'm definitely putting in more work than I have for Digimon. I also had a little side adventure where I played some Yu-Gi-Oh! And did a Crystal Beast deck. I don't really know what was happening. I'm sorry, you guys. But I will try to put up more videos and a little bit more of an inspirational guide to trying to do well at Nationals. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And if you want, the Blackwargreymon is going to be right after this. So thanks, guys. Peace. It's been real. Alright, so today we have our Blackwargreymon deck profile for the BT11 format, and I've put in about 45 matches with this so far. Majority are Grandis, and I'm tweaking it along the way, but this is where I'm currently sitting for the 2022 Digimon Nationals. So we play 4 of this Coremon. This is the BT10, BT9 Coremon. It's the 1000 DP is so relevant in so many matchups. I understand why some people like the draw, and if you like the draw, you should play the draw Coremon. But that extra DP just seems to be too good for me right now. So I'm playing just the 4 because you always want to see it. Moving on to our rookie lineup. Pretty standard. 4 of the 2000 increase Agumon during your turn, as long as your Digimon has Greymon. 4 of the Searcher Agumon lets you grab a Greymon and an Omnimon. Spoilers, we do play an Omnimon, so it's cool when it's there, I guess. We play 4 of the Red Agumon X Antibody. This card is insane and facilitates a lot of plays. My personal belief is, if you can, you should stack one in your hand, so when like, just because you have it doesn't mean you should use it. You should always save one of these in your hand. It just makes for a little bit stronger plays. And because I'm scared of bricking, I choose to play one more of an Agumon that searches. This is the BT8 Agumon that allows you to look at top 4, grab a Greymon, and a Dragonkin. I recommend at least 12 rookies for the event, being that there's no mulligans, but 13 seems to be working pretty alright for me. Moving forward, we have 4 of the best card from BT11, I believe. This Greymon is absurd to be able to go into your Metal Greymons for so cheap. If you don't know what this card does, you should probably read about it. Play 3 of the Inheritable Blocker Greymon. It's nice to have so many targets that can digivolve off red or black, because we do play them on black, and sometimes it does hinder a little bit, but that's another reason you want to stack a Agumon in your hand as soon as you possibly can. So then if you get into a weird situation where you do hard play this card, then you can go Agumon X over it, and then go into some of these champions that we have coming up, being 2 of the BT5 Greymon. This card is really, really good as long as you get maximum value out of it. If you don't get maximum value out of it, the Inheritable is okay, and it is nice to be able to choke back if they put you to 1 and don't have a memory tamer, and then you just go for this in the back just like you would anything else. But then the last level 4 that we play is one of the old Greymon X Antibody. The extra name and the fact that it's an X Antibody can get picked off a Cool Boy is really, really the main reason. You always want to go into this, but sometimes you're bricking and you need a champion. You only play 10, so it's, in my opinion, this slot is worth it. Some people would say you should go another Blocker Greymon or another BT5 Greymon or even Security Attack +1 Greymon, and all of them are great options. It's just how you feel. I think this is my optimal line. I cannot understand the concept of why you'd want another Blocker Greymon the most if that lineup isn't working for you. Moving on to our ultimates. This card has been raining on people's parade for far too long. I think it's an overpowered level 5, and it's what makes Blackwargreymon, to be entirely honest. The ability to tech over unsuspended Digimon is super awesome. The D-Digivolve and Pop is clutch, and it's very searchable. I did cut this one down to 3. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it is the most searchable versus like many different Agumons, the Cool Boys, and you really only ever need 1. If you ever get 2 in play in certain matchups, it is super nice to burn them to security, but it's not as relevant. The D-Digivolve protection and DP reduction protection is very clutch. So use the card sparingly but between these 7, I feel pretty confident. I was playing the old Metalgreymon X Antibody, but I did opt to cut it for this card now. I was liking the 3000 bump and the security attack +1 for a couple of the matchups, but I believe as a pilot I've gotten to be a little bit better with the matchup, hopefully. So I don't know if the old Metalgreymon X is needed. So I'm testing this one for the upcoming events. So the repeat of this Metalgreymon's protection effect for an inheritable is really clutch, and it is cool to go over this or this into this as just an extra target for your Yuyas. But this is the level 5s, definitely liking them. Level 6s, we have 2 OG Blackwargreymon. Gotta have the Tamer hate, the ability to clear a stack and then unsuspend and then go for a security check, possibly going into like a Gaiomon or a Blackwargrex, and then getting rid of another stack on the following turn is super clutch. And just being able to bridge the gap and maybe choke them to 2 or even 1 by going into this card, and then the following turn being able to make your aggressive play as long as they don't disrupt your stack, which is hard to do, and then go into either a Gaiomon or a Blackwargreymon X Antibody feels really, really good. I feel like I win more matches if I go Blackwargreymon first and then go into Gaio or X. So just a personal preference, I don't think I want to cut any of these or up any of these. The 222 is fine so far. If you guys have any feedback, let me know. Let me know down in the comments. One level 7 that I am currently testing is the OG Omnimon X Antibody. The card is very good at stopping certain decks that just consistently attack. I hope that it's good against Grandis when I need it to be good against Grandis, and that's a big thing. I wanted to test it against the purple loop decks that have retaliation and stuff, so being able to shut down multiple attacks, or even be able to protect it once or twice and then be able to shut down Beals seems good. So I'm not sure if it should be this one or if we should switch back to the BT10 one. I'll be doing a little bit more testing. I just need to get an alt art. This thing's pretty, but it's not that pretty. And then we got some Tamers. 4 Cool Boy. This card should mandatorily be at 4, in my opinion. You want to see it early game, every game, and it gives you so much advantage. Even if you have to just choke back to 1, this card is nuts. And if you feel like you're decking out too fast, try to be reserved. Maybe just because you have a Cool Boy doesn't mean you should play the Cool Boy in certain matchups. But almost all the time, you want to see one turn 1 or turn 2, or early on in your security. We play 2 Yuya. Card's pretty good. Gives protection against options until the end of your opponent's turn, and bumps the DP until the end of the opponent's next turn, which is really, really clutch, and it's a memory setter. I don't think I'd play 3. I did test 1 for a while, and it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. We play some options, and 3X Antibody. Card's good. Card's super good. You need it for a lot of situations. And Blackwargreymon draws a lot most of the time. So like if you put 1 to the bottom and then you search a couple of times, then on like turn 4, turn 5, if it gets there, you can usually just double X Antibody on both your stacks, and usually one of them will have an additional form of protection via Yuya or the Greymon X or the Metalgreymon Alterius mode. Is that what it is? The promo. I don't know. I lost this card for a long time. Yeah, the Alterius mode. But yeah, the 3 X Antibody options seem pretty relevant. I don't think I would switch those out. I'm playing 2 red memory boosts. I recently cut, spoiler, play a Hades Force. Card's nuts. I recently cut a Hades Force for another red memory boost so I can have more consistency. I don't know if that's correct or not, because Hades Force can just shut your opponent out of an entire game so fast, and it is super great seeing it in security. But it's kind of tough if you don't see an X Antibody or you don't see your line, so I put in cards that help me see my line a little bit more. But I'm going to try to do a little bit more testing with this deck. Again, it's constantly changing, but I feel very confident in this deck as of right now, and I enjoy playing it. I understand a lot of people that think Blackwargreymon is overpowered or like tier 0. That's not the case. It has some unfavorable matchups. It has some very favorable matchups, but I'm happy to be playing it. I'm happy that as a tamer I can play one of my favorite Digimon and a deck that I truly have appreciated for a long time. Alright, enjoy guys, have a great day, see you next time, peace, stay on the grind, see you at Nats.